Eléyìí la máa lò fún àtúnṣe. Our mentor is here with us. Before we share his profile with us, welcome, sir. You can mute yourself, Dr. Habib. You're welcome, sir. Good to have you.
Good evening. Good to see you again.
Yes, sir. Good to have you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be around. It's a big pleasure.
So we'll start right away by doing an introduction of your brief profile. We want to welcome all our viewers all over the world. For this summit, we've had participants from UK, from Uganda, from Ghana, from Cameroon, from Nigeria, and different parts of the world. And for people that are in our viewing center in Ondo State, we want to welcome all of you to this 9th edition of the Youth Empowerment Summit. Today is day 3 and the final day for this summit. It has been powerful, it has been awesome, it has been exciting. We've had a line of speakers that have really impacted us with then you know the principles, you know the secrets, then it makes it much more easier for us to climb the ladder of success. So today I will quickly read to us the profile of our mentor and our daddy that will take us through a wonderful section this afternoon. Dr. Habib Olamintoye is a purpose-driven and self-motivated medical practitioner and business leader. He obtained both his medical degree, MBBS, as well as his master's degree in business administration from the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. He is the founder and the chief executive officer of the following establishment: Academy Suite, Okeado, Ibadan; Academy Suite, Abiola Way, Abeokuta; Tolu Medical Center, Tolu Bus Stop, Olodi Apapa, Lagos; Tolu Medical Center, Ojo Road, Itire Bus Stop, Ajegunle, Lagos; Ibadan Central Hospital, Ososami Road, Okeado, Ibadan; Ibadan Central Hospital, Old Ife Road, Ibadan, Nigeria. Habib Olamintoye Foundation. He is also the chairman of the Governing Council, the Care People Foundation, Motherless Babies Home, opposite Quarry Lagos Ibadan Express Road, Ibadan. Distinguished Alumni Award winner of the Ibadan College of Medicine Alumni Association 2010. President Ibadan College of Medicine Alumni Association Worldwide 2016 to 2019. Chairman of the Board of Directors of the University of Ibadan Ventures Limited. He's also an author, and here is a list of some of his best-selling books. How to create a business that thrives in your absence. What I want my child to know about building a great life. Executive stress management, and many more. He's married to his beautiful wife, soulmate, Olubumi Benuade, and they are blessed with 2 children. The topic we will be discussing with today is building wealth. This season is a season that is post-COVID, and so many things have really happened. And today we are privileged to have him in our midst. You're welcome, sir, and you have the floor. And the way today we go is going to speak for like 15 minutes, and the remaining 45 minutes will be for question and answer. So prepare your question as he shares with us this afternoon. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Adetiloye. Thank you so much. I want to thank you for the wonderful thing you are doing in Africa. I want to remember the first day I met you, going to about around the time you were doing NYC.
Yes.
And you stimulated the mind of many people as a youth corps. You produced a book, very powerful book on personal development. I bought several copies. The book was exceptional, especially from someone so young. I want to thank you for the wonderful stride you have started and all the things you are doing for the future generation, and in particular for our own generation. Thank you so much. I want to thank all the audience who are today my customers in this business of sharing ideas. You heard Dapo talk about very many establishments. One would think that I started with silver or golden spoon in my mouth. I must say that the opposite is true. My parents couldn't pay my school fees, so I had the good fortune of having an uncle who sent me to secondary school. When I was very young, I was in the village. At the age of 12, I could not speak English. And I went from one unregistered, unrecognized school to the other through secondary school until I was lucky enough to get to a school that had government recognition. I spent 1 year there. And then it was from that school I entered University of Ibadan. And then when I got to University of Ibadan, I had the good fortune again of knowing that I could become anything I wanted to become by learning how to become so. And then since the greatest problem coming from my home was poverty, I wanted to distance myself from the consequence of poverty, the misery, the unhappiness, the pain, the hunger. So, and sometimes the loneliness. So I began reading books on how to prosper. It took me 6 years. I spent 6 years at the university reading medicine. And then I continued reading books. Even after the university degree, I read books on how to start business, how to run businesses. When I finished my NYC, I was ready. I started my first hospital called Tolu Medical Center in Lagos, and reading books on how to run businesses, how to hire, how to fire, how to negotiate, how to sell, how to inspire myself, how to reward customers, reward staff, and all the rest. So in 9 years, I was able to raise the biggest private hospital southwest of Lagos. And then 2 years later, I had a branch. And then I came to Ibadan. I came to Ibadan to start Ibadan Central Hospital there. From there, because I already learned how to run private hospitals that could run in my absence, I went to do MBA. After the MBA, I relocated to England with my family. For 2 years, I was reading a book. I was reading books upon books on how to start and run businesses in the United Kingdom. I started my first shop in London in 2003, and they ran the businesses for 3 years, and then relocated to Nigeria so that my children could go to school in Nigeria. Particularly, I wanted my children to read medicine. To the glory of God, one of them, the younger one, is a medical student, 300 level, and then the senior one is finishes NYC, also a doctor. What I want to share with you today is
Okay, I think the network from your end is hanging. Hello, doctor. You can check your network. It's hanging. We can't hear you now. Okay, doctor, we reconnect back now. You can unmute yourself, sir.
okay. Where did I stop?
So who can tell us where the stop?
It's a journey. The first component of any journey is where am I? Where am I starting from? What is the port of departure? Then you think about them, where am I going? That is, what is the port of arrival? And then, that is the first is where you are. You have to be honest. And then where you are going, some people call that vision. And then some people say from vision you develop goals. And then once you know where you are going, that is, you have to learn how to set a goal. Success in life is goals. Every other thing is commentary. If you know where you're going, it's a lot quicker, because all you just know is to learn your way, to navigate your way, to intelligently program or to make your path in the direction of your destination. And then once you know all of this, then you're able to say, which vehicle am I going to use? Of course, the best vehicle on personal development are books. And then a corollary of that we have seminars like this. And then beyond the vehicle, you want to know the co-passengers, the people that you are going, that will be going, because anywhere you want to go is you are going to need people to accompany you, because it is you that have the vision. Let us go. And then you have to determine the kind of people that will be fit enough to get to where you are going. You want to look at positive people and bring them on board your vehicle. Negative people, step them down from the vehicle. And then what are the tools you are going to use? You are going to need kits, something like travel kits that you are going to be needing. I will just mention about the 10 key kits that you are going to need to be able to have a successful journey in creating wealth. I mentioned the first one: books, seminars, role models. You can have all of them in that order. Next, you are going to need money, meaning that you are going to learn about money, the principle of money. You are going to learn 3 major things about money. How money will always be coming to you, but of the money that is coming to you, what proportion will you save? What proportion will you save? What proportion will you spend? And then what proportion will you give away as charity? These are the various things you will have to learn about money. We are going to need teachers like Adetiloye, teachers, they call them mentors, those who have been where you want to go, and then they want to guide your path, who already know what you need to do, what steps to take, what direction to follow. You need mentors. As you need mentors, you also need mentees, people that you want to drag along. When you are many in pursuit of prosperity, it comes better than when you're alone. It's just like they used to say that a pastor that wishes to get to heaven alone will not get there. And then if you want to succeed, you are going to succeed along with other people. When you have the battery, the connectivity, the synergy of team, you succeed quicker. Then we go, so a lot of people don't know that I've talked about money, about learning, which is first. I've talked about money, which is second. I've talked about teachers, which is third. The fourth of the 5 kids is we are going to need to reconnect, to reboot yourself through the power of prayer. Prayer is very important. As a matter of fact, you are going to learn about prayer, because it's not the kind of prayer that everybody prays. You have to know how the mechanism of prayer, the kind of prayers that get answered, the kind of prayers, what constitutes a scientific prayer, not shouting. So you have to learn something in that direction. And then you are going to profit from ideas. You cannot have ideas unless you have great health. Great health brings what we call energy, vitality. When you have energy and vitality, then you will have desire, and then you have hope, you have faith. All of those things come from great health. And then number 6, you are going to need hard work. I'm not talking about to convert people to a hardworking and stupid person. We're looking at people who think Pareto, who look at the few things that get great results. The very few things that you can do, maybe you have a list of 10 things, 2 of those lists will give you 80%. Smart work entails that you just do those 2 and leave all the trivial many. Number 7, you are going to take vacation. You're going to enjoy your life, to recreate, to recuperate. You're going to reward yourself at every bus stop when you have finished the achievement of separate goals. Number 8, you are going to create succession. When you are creating wealth, you are creating empires of businesses. You're going to need people who will take over. That is, it is too late when you have 2, 3, 4, 5 branches before you start creating entrepreneurship spirit within your family. This must have been an ongoing procedure. And then success, like we know, without succession is failure, because there's no way that you can perpetuate prosperity. Once you become too elderly, too old, and you don't have a youthful energy taking over, then all the businesses, organizations one has developed will all crash like a pile of cards. And then you don't need all of that. You see, when people say they are going to Lagos from Ibadan, and they know that they are going to Ibadan, they know that they are in Ibadan, they are going to Lagos, and then they know the Lagos-Ibadan expressway, they know the route they are supposed to. Then what happens to many people who never get to their destination? Simple. They stop moving. They stop at a particular time. If they keep moving, they will get to their destination. So what am I driving at is that resilience. Sometimes you fall down. You have to get up and keep moving. Sometimes you have people who want to derail you. You re-navigate yourself. Meaning that challenges will come. You have to read around the challenges and to find a way above, beside, behind, through any obstacles, just to be sure that nothing stops your forward. Finally, number 10, which by far the most important, focus. The key to success is focus. The opposite of that is distraction. To keep focus means to concentrate, to sustain what they call present moment awareness. What am I doing? How am I trying to do it? Could there be a better way? If there's a better way, it means that there's a better way still. How can I continue to upgrade my destination? We have a destination. As soon as we are getting closer to it, how can I raise the bar? How can I improve, upgrade, refine, redefine? All of these come under the caption of focus. Focus is the key to success. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Let's give our daddy a clapping emoji on the group chat. A clapping
Thank you.
emoji. A clapping
Thank
emoji.
you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that dosage. That is a powerful dosage from your story.
I can't hear anymore. Can you hear? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Points you have given to us.
Okay, I'm just hearing now. Okay. I don't know what is happening to my own. I didn't touch it.
It's network from here. We
Okay.
can hear you now. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Okay, so we have some people raising up already. So I want to ask a question around the current recession. Um, the current recession that is happening in Nigeria now. We know that this recession thing has been happening over and over and over again, and people are looking at what is going to be the impact and how do they come out of recession, either corporately as a business or individually as a person.
Okay. Thank you so much. We have treated this subject on many occasions in all our seminars in the past 13 years that we've been rendering seminars in Lagos, Abeokuta, and Ibadan. Recession, the way I look at it, is a call from some stupid people, a call who are in possession, who are in a position to run economy, who do not have what it takes to run the economy, who are now, we have always been in recession. Let's put it that way. To say that the current announcement that we're in recession was the beginning of recession was to undermine the suffering and the impact of what people have been going through in the past many years. Nigeria has always been in recession. Sometimes it will go rapidly, sometimes it will go slowly, but we have been in recession since I knew that there was something about economy. We've been in recession since I was in secondary school. I entered university when Shagari took over. 3 years later, we were in recession. There had been no time Nigeria was not in recession. So your choice is open. Will you participate? I have gone through a lot of recession. The organ of announcement is newspaper. I don't read it. So most of the time, I don't know there is recession. I organize my own economy. In my businesses, we just had a pay rise. In all our minimum wage is 40,000 for cleaners in all our businesses. We do not want to take part in recession. We organize our businesses on a daily basis. Wake up in the morning to learn for the day, to switch off our thinking apparatus. Most of our leaders who run our economy don't read. So what do you expect from people like that? What you have read in university is obsolete. What is relevant to you today is the knowledge you have applied today. What you have known all the years back are long gone. So you have to decide whether you want to join the recession that has been announced, and then you have to say you don't want to do it, and then you turn your back to it and restructure your economy. And just like I said, if you know the way to run your economy, and then you learn every day. You read books around the business you do every day. You get inspired on today. You see, recession brings depression. Motivation is the antidote. When you motivate yourself, you get natural high every day. I'm not talking about getting intoxicated with alcohol, getting intoxicated with wisdom, with guidance, with focus, with direction, with enthusiasm, getting more passionate about what you do. I have run businesses in Nigeria. I've run businesses in England. It is a lot easier to succeed here in Nigeria than to succeed in England. It's a lot because we have the largest economy in Africa, the largest market in Africa. Everybody wants to buy. What can you produce? I have moved away now gradually from hospital to hospitality. I still run my hospitals. Where they are located, they are still the biggest. They are still the busiest. We still sustain our minimum wage of 40,000 in the hospitals. I'm into hospitality now. I've read all the books I can find about hospitality in the past 8 years. I've read books about the running of hospitality outfits in Dubai. I've read books, all books about the Marriott group of chains of hotels, the Four Seasons chains of hotels, the Coral Hilton chains of hotels. I've read books upon books. I've read books. There are a set of books they call the 10 top books in the hospitality industry. You understand? When you know about what you do, it permits motivation, passion, enthusiasm. And with that, you pound barriers, obstacles into pieces. In fact, you leap over barriers to the degree that you know what you're doing and you know the strategies you apply. There is no recession for individuals, but we employ the services of incompetent people to run the affairs of our nation. That is why majority are suffering. Majority voted for them.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for that word of wisdom, so that at least a lot of people here can hear and get insights. We have Stephen Ndowu raising up his hand. So you are live. Stephen Ndowu, you can ask your question. So you can unmute yourself and ask your question, Stephen Ndowu.
Hello, sir.
Good evening. Please continue.
Unmute yourself again and.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, thank God for that. It is a great privilege to meet you, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Mr. Adetiloye, I've been talking about you for several years for now, and seeing you is like I'm seeing Dangote or Strive Masiwa in my front. So I will ask this one question because I won't allow you to escape. I heard this from a billionaire saying, that is you, saying to us that for us to be successful, one of the ingredients is scientific way of prayer. Out of the 10 things you listed, I've seen many things about them. I've read many, and I've seen many of our of my mentors who tell you pray spiritual, whatever, meaning part of it. But sir, what is that the scientific way of prayer to make it?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
The first, there are many levels of prayer. The first stage of prayer one that I read and learned and used, which is scientific, which has been working for me over the years. Prayer starts from desire.
Mm.
When you desire a particular thing, you ensure that there is nothing competing with it. You desire one thing at a time. It's always better to pray for one thing, the most important thing, and forget every other thing else. That's the first rule of prayer. You can see how a lot of people pray for so many things, because when you pray for one thing, you permit focus. When you permit focus, you permit concentration. You allow your reticular activity system to work on the prayer. Number one. Then number two, then you ask. Ask from God that this particular thing I need it. And then keep asking for the same thing until you get it. Don't ask for this and ask for that and ask for this and ask for this. Ask for one thing at a time. And then once you have asked in prayer, verbally, that this is what you, the next stage is assume that it has been answered. That is, take the mental mindset, the mindset that the prayer has been answered, and then begin to walk, to read, to learn, to ask people around to find solution to what it is you want to manifest. Like I said, ask for one thing, verbalize in prayer. Then go with the mindset that's been and it's been answered. Then the last stage is to keep grateful heart, happy heart. Actually, there's a saying that happiness, which comes from gratitude, is the precursor of achievement. Happiness causes achievement. It is wrong to assume that achievement causes happiness. It is when you are happy, when you inculcate gratefulness, which is the next level beyond assuming that the prayer has been answered. They call it moment of faith. When you have that and you begin to think as if the prayer has been answered, then gradually you begin to thank God, assuming that the prayer has been answered. That is the logical, scientific approach to prayer.
Thanks so much, sir.
God bless you.
Amen.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stephen. Mr. Ige is raising up his hand, so you can unmute yourself now and ask your question. Mr. Ige. Okay, good. Unmute yourself and ask your question.
Mr. Ige, good evening.
Okay, while we wait for Mr. Ige to unmute himself, we have another question. The person typed it. He said, what do you see as the top 1, 2, 3 common issues to reach success? What do you see as the top 1, 2, 3 common issues to reach success?
Yes.
Mr. also is live now. Maybe he should say his own question too.
Good evening, sir.
I know I cannot hear. Maybe there's a radio or television next to you.
No, look, my name is Ige Abdulsalam.
Okay, you're welcome.
I actually have a privilege of working close to you in Ajegule. I work across the Ajegule local government. Then Papa was transferred to Port Harcourt. So actually, my question is this: like a young man that has a kind of passion for 2 or 3 things, and he is actually confused on where will it start. Just as you said, you first started as
You please let your mouth be very close to the. Let your mouth be close to that thing. I can barely hear you.
Mr. Ige, we can't hear you clearly.
Maybe it's audio from my.
Okay, can you type your question?
Okay. I will do that. Thank you.
Yes, type your question.
Okay, we
We'll
can
read
hear
it out. All right. Let's have Folashade. You can unmute yourself now. Folashade, you can unmute yourself. Hello, Folashade, you can unmute yourself. Okay, maybe we should just continue with the question we have.
Okay, which one? Which question do we have?
So the what do you see as the top 1, 2, 3 common issues to reach success?
Well, I think the first thing is to determine what you mean by success. That is success. What is the meaning? What success in what? Is it success in life? And then what constitutes success? You see, the key ingredient, the first step is to have clarity about the success you're talking about. Clarity is the beginning stage. Then once you are clear about it, then you can learn your way. Learn. That is there any person who has achieved this thing that I want, alive or dead? How can I source the material? How can I see the person to show me how he moved from where he had nothing to where he achieved the kind of success I'm seeking? Working hard, frantically, to achieve what you don't even know, what you have not defined, is a very difficult thing to do. It's the precursor of a lot of frustration. So determine what you want, be clear about it. To who has done it before that can meet, or which book, which article can I read that the topic or the headline promises the achievement of that thing? How can I learn my way to success? And then that is 2. Number 3 is to follow recommendations. That is to soil your finger, to take the actions, to do the thing. Because if you do not do the thing, like Emerson said, those who do the thing get the power, get the success. Those who do not do the thing do not get the success, do not achieve the power. So first, determine what you want. Determine how to do it by learning your way. Take the actions, take the advice, follow the principles. Those are the 3 key ingredients.
Awesome. That is great and powerful. Any other person that want to ask question, raise up your hand as we begin to round up this session. Anybody want to ask question, raise up your hand, or you type it on the group chat. This is the real aspect of this program, the question and answer. This is where you can talk about, okay, we have a question here. Okay, it's not a question, it's just a comment. Okay, more question. For the person that was trying to talk the other time, can you drop your question on the group chat, or you are still typing it?
I think I saw a question now. It's vanished.
Okay, for a young man that have passion for 2 or more lines of business, how can he really rely his success? So a young man that have passion for 2 or more line of business, what would be the advice for that person? How can that person really be successful?
Yes, just like I mentioned the last time, the issue is to determine which one to follow. It might be difficult, but focus is the number one ingredient of success. You have to focus your energy, your love, your passion for one. You have to keep at flogging one horse until it screams. If you have run a business and is automated and is running, then you can navigate yourself to another business. But at the onset, you need to put all your eggs in one basket and wash the basket. You need to zero in on a particular business. First, it must be the business you love. It must be the business that loves you. How do you know a business that loves you? It will give you money. If a business does not give you money or does not have the prospect of bringing abundance and wealth, then you don't want that kind of business. So you want to start the business, and then you want to produce a particular kind of product or service, and you want to upgrade the business, upgrade the thing gradually. You want to learn about it, improve on it, upgrade it, scale it up. And then you want to learn how to market it. So once you're able to learn how to market it, and then what is marketing? Marketing is just 2 things: to create, then 2, to keep customers. So you want to generate more customers, and you want to keep them. And you want to continue to do that all the years that you're going to keep your shop open. Once anybody comes in, the person becomes a permanent customer.
Okay, sir, we have another question. He said, please, is it a good idea to partner with someone who has an experience in my kind of business in order to scale up? It is a good idea to partner with someone who has an experience in my kind of business in order to scale up.
Well, I have not had a partner since I started. Partnership is good, but there's a problem with partnership. It doubles troubles and halves profits. What you call experience, you can acquire. Because the greatest problem you are going to find in business is those that come from relationships. You do not want to start a business to worry about the progress of the business and then to worry about the involvement and commitment of another person. This person who has experience, how committed is he going to be? This person who has experience, how do you define the experience? Is it the kind of person who is a saver or a spender? These are factors that are important. How prudent is this person? How hardworking is this person? How organized is this person? You want to know. These are the troubles that you might encounter along the way. And then you want to prevent the problem long before it rears its ugly head. Always remember the legal implication of partnership. We are going to read books on partnership, the legal implications, the pitfalls, and all, so that you don't plug your neck into a problem, especially about somebody you said is more experienced. It might translate into you being naive, so naive that you are a novice in the kind of business. And before you know what is going on, you might end up with no business. And all the business will now belong to the person who is more experienced. So that is no experience you cannot acquire, especially the intelligent ones that requires you to read about the business. It is when you practice it that you can have experience. And the kind of experience we're talking about is the one that allows you to learn and act and get a feedback and get a result and learn again and get. You will always accumulate experience if you read every day around what.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that answers. We have Emmanuel Oluwaleke want to ask his question. So you can unmute yourself now and ask your question. Emmanuel Oluwaleke.
Hello, good afternoon, Sir Daddy.
Good evening, my brother.
Yes, sir. Your teaching is very, very awesome. May God bless you for us in Jesus' name.
Amen, and you too.
So my first question is this: like some other speakers have been saying since the beginning of this summit, the one thing that most of them are saying is about reading. So I'm a type that read, but the problem I have is materializing those things that I'm reading to bring success. For instance, if I read a book, for me to translate it to success, all those principles, I always find it difficult at times. So I want you to share from your experience, those books you have read, how are you able to translate those things you acquire from those books that are able to catapult you into the level of success you attain today?
Thank you so much. I must say that it's a very intelligent question you have asked this evening.
Thank you, sir.
This is where the rubber meets the road. This is the challenge of millions of people on the path of personal development. When you want to read, first of all, you must never read a useless book. What do I mean by a useless book? A book, the title that does not spell the promise of solution of a problem. Want to prosper. I think we need to mute some people. There's noise under. Okay. Yes, when you are reading, this is the key. Read a book that you want to get the essence of. Like one of my foremost books when I started was Think and Grow Rich. I held a copy of the book in 1979 when I became a medical student. And I was reading it every day. And one of the suggestions Napoleon Hill gave was that you must read with intent You must read with goal in mind. As you are reading, you'll be looking for ideas and concepts that can guide the direction to your goal. When you are listening to stories, see how it affects where you are going. When you are listening to a sermon, how does it profit what you are doing? You don't just want to listen to a story in order to retell the story or in order to remember the story. That does not profit you. What profits you is while you are reading, you'll be reading about what to do. As soon as you get any idea, write it down. Write it down before you read further, and then keep writing. Some of the time, if I read 10 pages, I will have written about 20 things to do, people to call, places to go, other books to read. You understand? Steps to take, money to call for, money to borrow. You understand? Ideas will be coming if you are reading with intent. Read. It is when you are reading novel, when you are reading things that are not in direction of what you want, that you have trouble finding alignment between the book you read and the place you want to go.
We want to appreciate you, sir, for this time and session you have taken us through today. It has been awesome. It has been wonderful. It has been enlightening. Can we describe this session in one word in the group chat? In one word, an appreciation for our daddy for taking time this afternoon, this Sunday afternoon, to engage us with knowledge, insight, principle, concepts that have worked over the years. Joanne said enlightening. Olayiwa, you say thank you so much, sir. AOC say epic, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Samuel said it is a priceless session.
Thank you so much.
Let it keep coming. Let it keep coming. Jairo said fabulous.
Thank you
Austin
so
said
much.
a very intelligent training from an intelligent father.
Thank you so much.
Steven said kudos. Olubumi said insightful. We really,
Thank
really
you.
want to appreciate you for this section. Another person saying very excellent, awesome, excellent. We
Thank you so much.
appreciate you, sir, for taking out of your precious time to take us through a practical teaching. It's not just reading now, it's something you have used all your life to practice and show us the way. And we are glad that we are following that path and it has taken us to where we are today. So from all the participants today, we want to say thank you, sir, for having us here. Yesterday, we have our mommy, Bibi Bumi Akwankwa, was here with us yesterday, and our section was very wonderful also. We really, really want to appreciate the family that we came from, the 110 Academy family. Thank you very much, sir. Some people are asking how they can get access to your books. So maybe for people in Ibadan, if you can tell us how they can get access to your books. I also sell his books. So if you get in touch with me, you can get some books, but I also want him to tell us other outlets where people can access your books and other material. And if there is any section for 110 Academy that is coming up, maybe December or January, you can also let us know so that we can also plan towards it.
Yes, in January 1st, we're having at Academy Suite Ibadan, the first, that is how to make 2021 the best year ever. There's a seminar 9 o'clock at Oduduwa Hall, Academy Suite in Ibadan. And then this will be repeated in Abeokuta on the following day. That is January 2nd. The year planner for other 10 academy will be available during the session. And then the books that you can find in UI Bookshop, UCH Bookshop, booksellers in Ibadan. And then all the receptions of Ibadan Central Hospital reception, the two Ibadan Central Hospitals, and then Academy Suite reception. You can get it in Abeokuta at the reception of Academy Suite Abiola Way in Abeokuta.
Awesome,
And then you
awesome.
can also get online on Amazon, Amazon .co.uk. You can also get at get online on 110academy.com.
Okay, great. I will project for them the website of 110 Academy and amazon.co.uk, so you can, especially for people in diaspora, in the UK, in the US, you are hearing us now, so you can get, he has more than 20 books that he has written. I've read all the books, I've read all the books, and then I also sell the books. So I'm not just reading, I also sell. And the way I sell is on recommendation. So somebody can call, I have this issue, I have this issue. I can prescribe 5 books together. So if you don't have up to 10,000, 15,000, don't call me for books. But if you have that money you want to invest into yourself, then I now help you to pick books that will transform your life. So within 15,000, you can take like 7 to 8 Dr. Habib books that will transform your life. So that's how I sell it basically. And it has been working. People's lives have been transformed. By the time you read 5 books together, and you will sit down and read, there's no way your life will not be transformed, and it has been interesting. So thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful afternoon. Our next speaker is already around the corner, so we'll have to release you right now, sir.
Thank you
you
so
very
much.
much. We really,
Thank
really
you so much.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
So our next speaker, she is ready right now, and we will be reading a citation profile. We'll be reading a profile for us. And so the next speaker is going to be looking at the role of education and personal development in achieving influence and impact and income. Our next speaker is Bumi Adetiloye. She is an educator. She is a counselor and a coaching advisor. She has over 5 years experience in school management and organizational development. She is proprietress of Life Modeling School. She's a support coach at Immense Inner Circle, an organization that has coached over 50,000 women in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. She's currently a PhD student of guidance and counseling at Obafemi Awolowo University. Bumi Adetiloye is happily married to Dayo Adetiloye, and they are blessed with 2 children. So she will be taking us through roles of education and personal development in achieving influence and income. Let's welcome her as we unmute her to engage us this afternoon. After our section, we are going to have another of our mentor called Mene Blessing. Mene Blessing, I don't want you to miss his section. He has won a lot of grants and awards. I call him my fundraising mentor. And that is what we have today. So I will unmute our speaker to start right now. So you can unmute, you are live.
Good evening, everyone. It's so good to be here. And I really want to appreciate the team behind this. I want to appreciate God too for the privilege to be part of this program. I will be talking about roles of education and personal development in achieving influence, impact, and income. And I really want to appreciate the last speaker that just spoke. It was very profound, very, very insightful, and it was so good. Now, the first thing I will be saying this evening is that you are where you are primarily not because of what you know, but because of what you don't know. It's because of what we don't know, that's why that is why you are still where you are today. Now, when we talk about education and personal development, education is the art or process of imparting or acquiring general knowledge, developing the powers of reasoning and judgment, and generally preparing oneself or others intellectually for mature life. And what we'll be looking at this evening is about acquiring knowledge as an individual. Knowledge actually has a way of moving you from one point to the other. In this decade, you actually need knowledge to make impact. You need knowledge to be influential. You need knowledge to increase your income. And education is one of the things that actually gives you the privilege of being imparted with knowledge. When you're educated, it gives you the leverage to see more opportunities. It gives you a leverage to see so many business ideas. It gives you leverage to see beyond your nose, beyond what others could not see. And again, I'll talk about knowledge. Knowledge is powerful currency that can actually shift you. It can actually shift your thinking. It can shift your mindset, the way you think. So knowledge is the power, is actually power. You know, everybody say knowledge is power, but it is power when only it is being applied. For instance, everything that we've been learning since Friday has been, you know, people have been imparting us with knowledge. Everyone has been coming with information. Now, this information, this knowledge that is being shared is power when it is applied. After this training, what I expect everyone to do is to apply it. If you don't apply it, that means the knowledge is useless. And the funniest thing about knowledge is that you can actually get constipated about knowledge too, the way you get constipated about food. You know, when you eat too much and there's no space again, you get constipated. You are not passing it out. So most times when you don't apply knowledge, you can actually get constipated as an individual as well. So whatever knowledge you are going to gain or you've gained during this program, during this conference rather, it should be applied. You should apply it. You should be able to use it to make impact in your community, in the people around you and others. So knowledge will always produce answer to how you can influence, how you can impact, and how you can increase your income. Knowledge brings solution to that problem you are thinking of. Maybe there's a problem in your community that you've actually cited, that you felt that, okay, I should be able to solve it. It's knowledge that will give you the solution to that idea. Now, another thing I would like to say this evening is that nothing changes because knowledge is acquired, but something changes when knowledge is applied. Nothing changes because knowledge is acquired. Now you are acquiring knowledge, nothing is changing. Nothing will change. If you are here, you are listening to me, you've heard Dr. Habib. Now, nothing is going to change by hearing me, but something will change when you apply it. When you can apply those ideas to your businesses, when you can apply it to your life, even like, for instance, the person that spoke to us about marriage yesterday, Mrs. Shay Davis, she talked about choosing a life partner. If you can actually apply that to your life as a young person, it will actually help you. So things can actually change for you. So something change when it is being applied to. Another thing I want to talk about is, what have you been doing with all the knowledge you've been getting? I'm asking you now. You can actually type it in the chat box. All the knowledge that you've been getting since, let's say January 2020, the books you've been reading, what have you been doing with them? What have you been doing with all the knowledge you have been getting all this while? Can I get responses? Have you ever actually applied any form of knowledge you've gotten, maybe from the media, from the internet, from books, from people, from seminars? Have you ever applied anyone this year? No response yet. So we move. Okay, you have. Thank you very much, Izzy Abraham. Can you share with us? Is it possible for you to type in the chat box and tell us one of the knowledge you were able to apply, and the knowledge, and it was able to push you forward? It moved you forward. It changed something about you. Can you share one of those things? And it's like a stepping. Okay, John Francis said it's like a stepping stones to reach the next level. Thank you. So good. Now you need to start applying them so that you can start making impacts. It's only when you apply the knowledge that you receive daily that you can actually make impacts. When you are not applying it, you can't make influence. You can't make impact, and that cannot actually increase your income. If you have influence, you have impact, it can have an effect on your income. Now, let me talk about personal development. Personal development is a process that actually lasts for your entire life. You develop yourself throughout your lifetime till you die. Learning does not stop until you die. You keep learning every day. I'm very sure the man that just finished speaking, even as old as he is, as knowledgeable as he is still learning. He's still acquiring knowledge. He's still attending conferences. And I'm very sure that he still has mentors that he's learning from too. So personal development is a method of assessing your own personal qualities and skills. It improves your self-awareness and identity. Personal development actually allows you to be self-aware about yourself. Okay, I think, let me read what is in the chat box. Gospel Akano said, copywriting, it's increased my income and sales. Wow, that's so good. Abraham said, book title. Okay, you read No Excuse. Yes, I've read the book too this year. I think I read it in January, and it was a powerful book. No Excuse. Can you tell us knowledge that you gained from that book? What are the things that you were able to pick? Do you have aha moments from the book, insights from the book that you could share with us? Now let's move to the next thing. Wow, Infinix X4 said, actually I applied what I read through books like The Richest Man in Babylon. And I also applied many things from our convener, Mr. Dio. So good, that's so good. Wow. Oh, John Francis said, impact to me is having insights, mentors, passion, action, connections, and tools. Yeah, good. Now, I want to talk about how do you achieve impact, influence, and income. How do you do this? Number one, I'll say self-awareness. Self-awareness. You need to be aware of who you are. Most of us don't know who we are. You don't know who you are. You only have, if somebody is asking that, who are you? You only know your name as John. You only know your name as Bumi, but you don't know who you are. What are the things that makes up Bumi? What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are the things that are in you? So we need to be self-aware. We need to know who we are. You need to be aware of yourself, your talents, your gifts, your skills. So many of us don't know the skills we have and the skills we don't have that we need to sharpen. So you must start by knowing who you are, knowing what God has actually created you to do. Knowing who you are actually sent to. You are not sent to everyone in the world. It's not possible. You are sent to a particular set of people. It can be women. Even women, it can be young adults. It can be maybe teenage women. It can be, let's say, married women. It's possible you've been sent to boys just to impact them. So who are you actually sent to? You need to be self-aware about this. It's very important. Now, another thing you can actually help yourself, how you can actually help yourself to be self-aware about yourself is have a board meeting with yourself daily. It can be maybe 15 minutes every day that you've scheduled for yourself, just to know yourself. Dedicate time daily to ask questions like, what problem do I have to solve? What problem do I need to solve? What problem am I here to solve? What legacy do I want to leave here when I die or when I'm not around? What legacy do I want to leave? It's just like this woman that died, Ibiduni. When she died, you know, she was not, I think so many people don't know her when she was alive. But it was when after her death that people started checking the internet, they had to search for who is this woman, and she left a legacy. She left a big legacy that I just felt, I don't think some people can, we still have somebody that can actually enter that big shoe that she has actually left behind, because she's really doing well with marriages. She's giving free IVFs to people who have waited for years and they couldn't conceive, but she has been doing it for maybe 5 to 7 years now. She gives free IVF and people have actually conceived through that. And even before her birthday, she already told her husband that, oh, I actually want 40 families to smile. I actually want to impact 40 families. I want them to actually carry their babies. Now that's a legacy. What kind of legacy do you want to actually leave behind? What do people want to remember you for? I'm very sure that so many people that she has impacted will never even forget her. And there's another story I read yesterday about Femi Otedola. I'm not sure, maybe it's true because I saw it on Facebook, about a radio interview he had, and they asked him about something, that what has been your happiest day? And he said it's not when he got the biggest idea. It's not when he got the biggest refinery for diesel in Nigeria, because he was the only one supplying Africa and I think Nigeria. So he now said the day he was actually, his most happiest day was when he went with a friend to donate wheelchair to children that couldn't walk. And he said after sharing it, that those children, they were happy. And when they were about to leave, there was one that held his leg and said, and he was warned, he said, what do you want again? We've given you wheelchair, you are actually happy, you are walking around now, and he too was actually smiling. So he said, the little boy said, when I get to heaven, I will still thank you for what you've done. You know, that was so profound. The man said he was amazed by that statement, that this little boy was saying, you know, I'm very sure that he already felt that by the time the man grows old and is old enough, he won't be able to pay him back. But when he gets to heaven, he's going to look for him. That's a legacy. You know, he had actually impacted the life of those children. That's what he has done. And that child in particular could even tell him to his face that, wow, you've actually done well to us. And even when I die, I will still look for you. That's actually proven. The second thing we should do is that you need to have a vision and write it out. you need to write a vision. You need to have a vision and write it out. Vision makes our life meaningful. Vision makes our life meaningful and makes us valuable contributor to the world. Vision makes our life meaningful and makes us valuable contribution to the world. You need to build your vision to add value. Your vision must be able to add value. When you're adding value, you have an increase in income. When you're adding value, you are making impact. When you're adding value, you are making influence. Now, how do you achieve that? How do you actually achieve your vision, even though you have written it down? Another thing you can do is you need to set SMART goals. SMART goals are the vehicle that will actually take you to the destination of where your vision is. You need to set SMART goals. SMART goals that will lead you to fulfilling your vision. Now, SMART goals means your goals must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be achievable, it must be realistic, and it must be time-bound. Now, if your goals are not SMART, it's possible that your goals will fail. It's possible that you won't be able to actually achieve that vision you've written down. You know, most of us wonder every year, at the beginning of each year, even before January 1st, December 31st, you start writing your goals. You start writing New Year resolution. And by January 20, the goals are nowhere to be found again. The reason being that is that the reason why it is that the goals are not SMART enough. They are not SMART enough to move your vision forward. They are not actually SMART enough to even have an impact. So you don't just set goals. Thank you, Ogene. Don't just set goals, but set SMART goals. Like I said, the meaning of SMART is your goals must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be achievable, it must be realistic, and it must be time-bound. Set daily goals. Don't set ambiguous goals. I want to be a doctor. How do you want to be a doctor? Or you're writing, I actually want to read 10 books in 2021. What are the names of the books you want to read in 2021? What do you want to actually achieve? What's your vision? Is the books going to be maybe books on personal development? Is it going to be books on time management? Is it going to be books on speaking? Is it going to be on, maybe you are actually working on your health? Is it books that will actually help you in achieving a good health or something? Now, what kind of books do you want to read in 2021? How do you want to read them? How? Is it that you are taking one chapter daily? Or you are reading, don't just write, I will read, let's say I'll read, I'm trying to think of, and okay, like the book I'm reading currently, I'm currently reading Only Why Are We Poor? And that book has 12 chapters. How do you want to read that? For instance, for me, what I do is that each day I take a chapter. So if I'm writing my goals for 2021, for January, I'm saying, okay, I'm reading 2 books. Only Why Are We Poor by Steve Harris. And the second book I'm reading is Elevator Speech. Now, the first one, I'll just say, okay, the first one I'll be reading for 2 weeks, and I'll take 1 chapter per day. Then I will evaluate my goals on Saturdays. Now, that's actually specific and it is time-bound. Now, your goals must be specific and it must be time-bound. It must be measurable. It must be realistic. Don't just say, okay, I'll read the book for just 1 day. And you know that you don't just have the time to yourself. Probably you are working and you do 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night, and you're saying you want to read the book for a whole day. It's not realistic. Let your goals be realistic. Now, if you can make impact, influence, your income will definitely shift. If you can actually do that, if you can get that from this conference. From Friday, we'll be talking about, so many people have been talking about impact, influence. So if you can actually get this, you will definitely have an increase in your income. The third thing you should do is read books. One of the things that Dr. Abib said this evening is that books is a vehicle to personal development. So books take you to places you've never been before. Probably you've not been in US. I've not been to US before, but I think I know so many places in the US just because of some books that I've read. Books expose you. When you read books and you apply the knowledge from it, it will actually help you. You don't just read books for reading's sake or for just telling people that I'm reading. Read and you apply. When you read, you apply. That's when there is results. When you are not applying, there are no results like the author of that book. Somebody has actually written down the book because he or she has the results. Now, if you want to achieve that kind of result, you must be able to apply them. Apply anything you are seeing in books. Good books. I'm not just saying any books. Books like Be All You Can Be by John C. Maxwell. When you read books like that, apply what is there. Don't just read. And there's this adage that says readers are leaders. That's very true. The readers are actually leaders. You want to be a leader, you want to make impact, you want to make influence, you must read. You must read. Everything you are looking for is in a book. Whatever you are looking for, even if it's money that you are looking for, it's in a book. Someone somewhere has gone through that phase that you are going through. Are you going through any difficulty now, maybe in your business, in your career? Someone has actually tread that path before. You can actually get a book that discusses about it. Now, thank God for the internet. You can even download books from, I think, www.pdf.com. Free books. You can learn from their journey, how they were able to achieve success, how they were able to learn from their failures. So please read books, learn to read books. These days, people are so busy that we don't read again. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for that. www.pdfdrive.net. You can get there and check any textbook that you need. The fourth one is your mindset. Your mindset. Now, for you to make impact and influence, there is a way to think. There is the way to think. If you want to make impact, if you want to make influence, there is a way you think. Think big. And again, the results in your life have a relationship with your thoughts. What are you thinking about? What are your thoughts? What are the information flowing through you? Because most times the information flowing through that flows to us, things that we read, things that we hear, have an impact on our thoughts. So what are you actually reading about? What kind of information are you accessing these days? They actually affect our thinking pattern. Now, if you are not seeing the right results in your life, you need to check what is flowing in your mind and what you are feeding your mind on. What are you feeding your mind on? Are you feeding your mind on negative things? Are you feeding your mind on, I can't, it's not possible? Maybe you are feeding your mind on maybe people that have failed before and they have no results. What are you actually feeding on? There's a way to think if you want to make influence. You can actually follow people that have succeeded in their life. Read their stories. Learn from them. Hear what they have to say. That can actually help our thoughts. Now, your mind is a key to impact. Your mind is the key to impact, influence, and income. And you have the power to control it. You have the power to control your mind. You have the power to control how you think. You have the power to shift your mindset. You can actually shift your mindset by actually reading, listening to authors, listening to thought leaders in your field can actually help you shift some mindset that you should not actually have. The next one is create structure. You need to create structure. Stop wasting your time on frivolities. Stop wasting your time on frivolities. Invest your time. These days, many youth waste their time on social media. You need to start investing your time. Know how you spend your time, like the way you know how you spend your money. If you have 500 naira today, and probably you went out, you bought some things, by the time you come back, you calculate, especially ladies, you calculate, oh, I bought pure water, 10 naira. I did this, I did that. That's 400 naira. It's many hundred naira in my purse. Wow, that's balance. Now, you need to actually do that to your time every day. What do I find myself doing daily? Some of us, by the time you check that 24 hours that we have daily, everybody has 24 hours. Dangote 2 hours, 24 hours. You have 24 hours. What are you using your own 24 hours to do? Some of us, 15 hours out of the 24 hours is on social media. And it's not that we have businesses on social media. So invest your time wisely. There are so many things you can actually learn these days on YouTube, on Google. Invest your time in that, in learning, in acquiring knowledge. This is actually the decade of knowledge. Like one of my lead coach would say, DDK, she said, this is a decade of light. Knowledge will sell. It's only people that are sharing knowledge that will actually make impact in this our generation. It's people that are actually dishing out knowledge that can actually acquire wealth. Because if you're actually dishing out knowledge, you are imparting lives through knowledge. People will pay for it. So invest your time wisely, please. You can also make use of time blocks, time management, and scheduling. There are so many life hack apps that we have today that can actually help you in scheduling. You can make use of Google Apps. It can help you out. You can make use of Evernote, Color Notes. They can actually help you block your time. Now, even in achieving this impact, in achieving influence, it's just one step at a time. What are you doing with your time daily? Now, what you are doing with your life and your time daily will sum up to the results you are going to see in the future. So if you're not actually investing your time wisely, you're not doing the right thing that you're supposed to do, please, you need to check it. You need to change what you are doing with your time. Because it's just in achieving influence, it's a step at a time. You grow into it. The next thing I would like to talk about is that how do you actually impart and influence? Next thing I'll talk about is you can volunteer. You can volunteer. So many people these days are saying, oh, I'm looking for a job. I don't have anything doing. I've been applying. Volunteer free. Just tell them that, let me just do it for free. You see that by the time you start, before you know it, probably you are doing 3 months there and all that. It's possible they start free. I've heard some stories like that. They just volunteer freely. And before you know it, they got a job in that organization. There are so many NGOs that need people. Volunteer as a graduate. If you are one and you are still looking for a job, volunteer. The next one is you can do some certification. We have some free certification today online. Coursera is doing so many. You can actually go there, get some certification, and when you have money for the paid ones, you can actually pay, because there's a limit that free things can actually do. When you're getting knowledge and you're looking for free every time, because you can't move, you can't grow. Because at a point in time, you will pay. You will need to pay. Personal development will cost you. in developing yourself, it will cost you your time, it will cost you your money. So personal development, when you are developing yourself to actually achieve all these things we are talking about, you need to sacrifice so many things. You need to sacrifice your time, your money to get, to acquire knowledge, maybe to attend seminars. You also need to develop the ability to continuously acquire new and better forms of knowledge. Keep learning daily, learn new things daily. Another thing I'll talk about is you need mentors, you need coaches. Get a mentor. You also need a power circle. You need support systems. Who are the people you are moving with? Are they people that pull people down? Are they people that are cheerleaders that will cheer you up whenever you have an idea? Or they are the one that will say, oh, this is your idea that you are sharing. It won't fly. And some of them will go behind you and go and try what you've just shared. You need to get a power circle, people that you can encourage yourself together. You can actually share your stories together. You can actually move together. You can actually hold your hands together to achieve your goals. I think with these few points of mine, if you can actually apply all I've said, you should be able to achieve impact, influence, and have an increase in your income. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is a very, very great presentation. We want to really appreciate you, Ma, for this wonderful section. We will go to the question and answer session right now. I know a lot of us, we have questions already. I can see a lot of people dropping questions, and it's time for question and answer. So if you have questions, please, you can raise up your hand. If you want to type it, please do. And as we move to the question and answer section. All right, if you want to clap for our trainer tonight, please, you can do that. Let's give an emoji clap for her for that wonderful presentation that has really blown our mind. It's a very great one. Thank you so much. So if you have questions, please drop it quickly as we switch to the question and answer section. So we start right away by going through the question in the group chat. We have Eze Abraham said, how do someone know the right thing? Begs what was right yesterday appears wrong later. Then it will be called a mistake or disaster. So please, can you go through the group chat and answer that question? We have another question. So let's get people to talk. Gibrin, I will unmute you now so you can ask your question.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
So you are live, Gibrin. You can ask your question now.
Okay. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation, madam. You really dwelt well on the issue of personal development, and the points raised were very enriching. But there's an area I want to ask a question. A situation whereby you are fully engaged in putting this knowledge now of personal development into use, and you have a kind of director, somebody you work for. The person doesn't seem to recognize, because, you know, putting all these things together now, as you said, it brings influence, impact, and income, and increased income. I believe this should be on a kind of individual base. Maybe you have your own business, okay, because there are some people you work for and they seem not to recognize this. Even when you apply this knowledge and you put them into use, and you have a well-developed, you develop yourself very well, and you are useful and you are impactful. But this third section of the increase in income, I don't know how to go about that area. That is the area I want to ask a question about. Is there a way out? What do you think should be the right thing to do? A situation by you put these points now on personal development, you actually apply them and you become impactful, become influential. But the third one doesn't seem to be recognized. What do you think? What advice do you have for that such a person? That's the question. Hello.
Hello, sir. I think what you are trying to say is that after putting all these things in place, you've actually developed yourself and there's no result to show for it. Is that what you are saying? It's not impacting your income.
Okay, yes. The income now doesn't seem to be increasing.
What did you say,
the impact and the influence. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, like as I said, this the personal development points are being applied. You know, when you have the knowledge, you apply them.
Yes, sir.
Because the impact will be there, influence will be there. Out of a situation by you are working for someone, the impact is there, you are impactful, there's influence, but the income doesn't seem to be increasing. So what can you say about that?
Okay, are you saying that you are doing well in an organization and it's not telling on your salary? Let me put it in that layman language. Is that what you are saying, sir?
You're on the point.
What is it, sir?
On point.
Now, whatever you are doing.
On point. You are right. You are correct.
Now, I want to say, whatever you are doing, there must be results for it. What result are you getting? Now, if you are getting great, so maybe you have advised them that, okay, this is our pure water nylon. Let's upgrade it. Let's start using bottle. And they use water bottle. Let me use that as an example, pure water factory. And they start using bottle to produce. And so many people are buying in that area. You know, that your idea has actually brought out something, has brought customers, more customers to buy. Now, that's a result that they will reckon with. They will not say they will not pay for that idea. I'm sure that such organization would definitely pay you for doing that. Now, what kind of ideas are you actually giving them? Has it ever worked? That's another thing we should check. Whatever you are saying, the impact you are saying you are making in that environment, has it actually added value? Is it adding value? It's only what is adding value that will bring money. If it's not adding value, you don't expect an increase in income. It's only when you are adding value that there's an increase. Did you get, sir? Did you get that, sir?
Yes, let's move to the next question. Somebody wrote.
Yes, I'm getting you.
Okay.
Got you.
Okay, great. So
Thank
let's
you.
go to the next question. Somebody said, I used to read at least 1 or 2 books a month, but now my zeal for reading is waning. How can I refire it? Because now I can hardly finish a book in a month.
Now, one of the things you need to know is, why are you actually reading? Why? Your why. Your why will keep you in doing something. You need to know your why. Why do you actually want to read? Now, if you know your why will actually push you to do it. Then another thing you can actually do to refire it is that, like I used in when I was talking, the example I used, set a goal. Now, probably in you want to work on speaking, on maybe elevator speech and all that in January. Now get books towards that, or you need to work on your time and scheduling. Get a book on time and scheduling. Maybe Eat the Frog by Brant Tracy. You can get a book like that. Now you now write it down. You must write your vision down, your goals down. Now when you write it down, it's okay. Eat the Frog. I'm reading for the month of January, and I'll read 1 chapter a day. At the end of a week, if you can do that, please, you can actually motivate yourself by getting yourself something, by appreciating yourself. So I can actually do this. Now write it down. Daily, I'll be reading it, or twice a week, on Monday and on Friday. I'll make sure I read a chapter each. That will actually help you in doing that. So by the end of January, you see that in a month, you've read 2 books as well. That's what I do, and it worked. And it's still working. So try and schedule it. Most times we don't schedule something. You say it's not working. Have you actually scheduled it in your diary? Have you put it down that, okay, this is what I'll be doing by 2 p.m. today. I'll be reading so thing. I'll be doing so thing. If you are scheduling, you will definitely do it.
Okay, let's have Mr. Ige for his question. You can unmute yourself now.
Good evening, sir. And I really appreciate Madam for our well presentation. So my question is, like someone who is like working in an organization, and the organization is so
I can't hear you well, sir.
Time, like, what I'm saying is that, like someone who is engaged in an organization, like someone who is working on an organization and is engaged due to his time, and such person has some idea that he has put a kind of goal he has put in written, and based on his time demanding, how could he, and he can't even leave the job because already that's the only source of livelihood and where he's trying to source money for his goals, then how could he manage to start his goals based on the time that the first job is taking?
I didn't get your question clearly. I don't know, maybe Mr. Dayo heard him.
Okay, maybe you type the question. I think your network is not clear enough. You can type the question and drop it while we unmute Phoenix S4. You can unmute yourself now. Phoenix S4. Can you unmute yourself now? Phoenix S4, are you there? Please unmute yourself. Okay, let's look at other people on the group chat. Okay, somebody is, can you read, Mr. Success, I wrote my first book with my phone, use my laptop for self-editing. Just hold on, I'm reading. I think the question is a lot. Okay. But the laptop had some issues that require a major financial attention. I can't do anything with it, though I occasionally use my office laptop when I can. But how can I go about it? It is obvious I need another system, but I can't afford any for now since I'm trying to grow my business. I need your input and practical strategies I can take because I want to finish the self-editing and publish it since I'm having some other new thoughts. So the person wants to get another system for his writing career. He has something he's writing already, but he needs to grow my business to raise more fund. What am I missing out? So,
Well,
okay, go ahead.
what I would suggest is that, one of the last thing I think I mentioned in achieving influence and impact is power circle. Who are the people that are your support system? Who are the people in your circle? Do you have people, friends that you can actually call on and say, please, can I use your laptop for so weeks, so days, since you can't afford it for now? Or people that can actually even help out in the repairs free of charge. So that's why I said we need power circles. Who are your support systems? If you can actually get support, you have support system, they can actually help out, because this issue now is a laptop issue. Do you have friends that can actually release their laptop for maybe days or some weeks to you? Or you have a family member that has a laptop that you can actually make use of and you return back? Did you get that, please? So you actually need a support system, please. And congratulations on your new book. That's so good. Wow, well done.
Okay, let's hear from winner Barnabas. You're already live. You can ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma.
And good evening, ma. I'm so glad I'm joining from Maiduguri. Actually, I really appreciate this conference. It has really boosted my morale and some other things that I've been doing business-wise. And actually, I want to ask question. Like, for instance, the place we are now here in Maiduguri, actually, I was doing well in my business. And because of this crisis, violence here and there, I lost a lot of things, of which it cost me. My shop has been sold out and a lot of things. And yes, I have goals that are realistic, that are measurable. But my problem here is how to raise funds. Because sometimes when I want to do any business, I have to go and borrow from friends and family. And what I really want is, how do I access this grant of a thing that will help me boost my business? And sometimes I do, train some of our youth in the area of businesses. Like now during Corona period, that there's no school. Some of them, they are just staying idle. And, theoretically, I was teaching them how to start off something. And most of them, they have started some things like what we have in our environment, like foodstuffs. Like I taught them how to do Tom Brown, because so many people want Tom Brown for their children, not only for children, for adults. And the problem they are facing now is funds. How to, please, can you help me, enlighten me? How do I get access to all those grants that will help boost our businesses here? Thank you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Just give us some minutes. She will respond now. Okay, she
Oh.
has been unmuted. So you can respond to that question, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining from Madiguri. Now, I think you were asking about assessing how you can assess grants or loans. Did I get that? Is that what she was asking?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
now,
yes, ma'am. You're right.
You can actually wait. I would love if you could wait for the next section. Will you be available for the next section? The next person that is coming in. The person will be talking
maybe
about. What did you say?
Yes, I may waste more because I have some other meetings today. So
okay, because the person is going to talk about how you can actually access grants. Now,
okay.
I've actually accessed grants before. I've been a beneficiary of UWIN. I've accessed Kickstart. I've actually qualified for Kickstart organization too before, but I didn't access, I was not given the grants, but I was able to apply for it, and I was trained. Now, this person that is coming in is going to talk more about how you can access grants. In January too, Tony Elumelu to give grants. Tony Elumelu will be giving grants to so many businesses. So you can actually follow Tony Elumelu on Facebook, on Instagram. Then again, another thing you can do is follow Kickstart on Instagram, IBPLC. They will soon start another level of grants. They want to start giving out grants too. So they are starting the next boot camp. You can actually follow them on Instagram, and please wait for the next person and hear him out. I will type organization out that you can follow on Instagram.
Yes,
IBPLC.
I will be grateful. All right, I'll be grateful
about them.
Okay, ma. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. Yeah.
So do any other person have, okay, we still have Victory. Victory will be the last person for question today. We still have Austin. So let's take the two of you quickly. Victory, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Hello, Victory, you can unmute yourself for your question. Okay, if Victory is not responding, let's have Austin. Austin, you can unmute yourself for your question.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, sir.
Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm connected from Osun State, Ile-Ife. Talk about reading of books. I'm the kind of someone that anytime I'm reading books, I always or feel tired. I don't know, maybe I should call it laziness, because before I finish reading chapter or two, I'm already tired and weak. So my question now is, what is action? What can I do, ma?
Number one, what kind of books are you reading?
I'm reading books about business growth.
Can you mention one of the books you've read?
That I've read.
Yes, can you mention books that you've read that you felt it was boring? That's why I told you, one of the people that asked question about reading, you need to know why you are reading. Now, why are you reading? Why do you want to read? Do you actually want to learn? Are you hungry to learn? If you're hungry to learn, you cannot sleep. I don't sleep when I'm reading, except I'm tired. Now, what time do you read? Do you read at night when you've done all the work and you are tired for the day? You pick up a book by 9 p.m. It's not possible to read at that time when you are tired. Can you look at time? Now, another thing you must look at is where energy flows. Have you ever read book in the morning before 6 a.m.? Please, can you respond to that?
No.
No.
No, ma'am.
Now you can actually put that in your
I read
morning.
around the evening time.
You can actually put that in your morning routine. Check videos on morning routine on YouTube, and it will actually help you. Now, when you wake up in the morning, after you pray and all that, pick up that book and read a chapter. Pick up that book that you felt you want to read at that particular time, maybe to develop yourself or something. Read just one chapter. I can recommend books that you can read and you won't leave. You want to know the end of what the writer is actually talking about. When you read books, John Maxwell books, Joyce Meyer books, Cindy Trim books, you can't be bored. You can't be sleeping when you are reading it. There's a wake-up call in your mind when you read books like that. When you read Brian Tracy books, to wake you up, even if you want to sleep. Even Dr. Habib book doesn't make people sleep. The person that just slept. So when are you actually reading that book? And what's the environment like? So please, you need to check that. What time do you read and the environment?
Okay, let's give a round of applause for Mrs. Olubunmi Adetife for that awesome section. Let's give a great emoji clap for her. She has really helped us just justice to that. Let's give a round of applause, and describe that section in one word. Describe that section in one word. Olufisayomi said, thank you very much, ma. Describe that section in one word. Quickly. Joanne said, thank you. Austin said it was awesome and powerful. Okay, we now say, please, can I have your phone number, ma? Okay, great. So we, somebody say mind-blowing, engaging. Thank you for those sections. So we have one of my mentor already around now for the next session. I'm privileged to be connected to him, and I will quickly go through his profile so that you can have an idea of the person that is going to talk right now. Mene Blessing is a serial entrepreneur, educator, business executive, visionary leader. He currently co-leads Inspire Africa for Global Impact Initiative as the board chair. He co-founded VETSAC Limited, where he currently serves as the Chief Executive Officer. As part of his work as a social entrepreneur, Blessing founded On Fire, leading the firm's management and steering the company towards being Nigerians leading unorthodox feeds manufacturer serving smallholder livestock farmers in the agri sector. He has worked in the agricultural sector, especially for 10 years, and possesses excellent writing and public speaking and communication skill. 8 years leadership and management experience. As an educator, Mene has worked as a teacher and trained facilitator for 6 years. Mene also served as a board director and vice president for Innovative Cooperative for Optimal Nutrition in Africa, ICON, and headquartered in Burkina Faso, and Secretary General of Quality Insect for Food and Feed Association of Nigeria. QIFFAN, an organization supported by USAID Nigeria and Markets 2 project. He has received awards and honors from University of Cambridge Institute of Sustainability Leadership, UK, University of Washington Foster School of Business, USA, and many more. He's the author of the best-selling book, The Winning Streak, 40 Proven Secrets on How I Raise Money for My Business and How You Can Do the Same. Many blessings, big purpose and mission in life is to help people, places, and is married and blessed with 2 kids, Nathan and Roxanne. He will be sharing with us on building impact, and he will be also be sharing some of his experience with us, how he has been able to make impact all over the years. So I'm going to unmute our trainer and speaker today. He's my own mentor. I call him my fundraising mentor. I've learned a lot through him. So you can unmute yourself, sir.
Hi, Daya. Good day, everyone.
Great, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Do you guys want my video on? I can do without the video anyway. So it's a great pleasure to be here and to be with everyone. Dayo, thank you very much for this wonderful summit and program, which you have made happen at such a unique time in our country's history and such a unique season in the lives of thousands of people across the country. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So today I would want to share my story and also alongside share with you some ideas, strategies, and insights I believe could help each and every person listening to me today to help you unlock your ability to create impact, unlock your ability to go international, and unlock your ability to mobilize resources, which includes money and relationships, and every other necessary ingredient needed to make your visions and dreams become a reality. So first of all, I always like telling people that when I was growing up, I still remember years back when I was in primary school. I remember the day, I think in primary 2, when I received my results. I actually thought I came second in class, but I think it was 28 out of 30. So I actually thought it was 30 minus 28 give you 2. So that gives you your position in class. Until I eventually found out that it was like second to last or so in the class. And I had an experience growing up where I was doing very poorly in school at the time. And fortunately for me, my dad managed to get me a very good education at one of the best private schools in town at that time. So I actually experienced a change. I went on from primary school to secondary school. Great journey all through. Ended up being one of the best students in chemistry, representing my school at the Oluwole Awukoya Memorial Competition in the state. And then I eventually pursued a degree in veterinary medicine at the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. I think in my second year or so, second or third year, I began to understand the concept of vision. I didn't know there was something like vision or impact or, mission. All those things kind of look like what organizations do. They don't look like what individuals believe. So at that time, I actually got to know that, I actually there's a purpose for my life. There's a reason why I'm on earth. I'm not just on earth by mistake. I'm not on earth to get a job. or to run a business. I'm on earth to fulfill God's divine purpose for me. And knowing that changed everything for me, because at that point in time, I was just focused on, being a scientist, a pure scientist. And so eventually I just told my dad, hey, I would love to just, I think my calling is really in the marketplace. And I would not want to pursue my degree in medicine anymore. I want to maybe study business or something. And then I would have a business that employs vet doctors, something like that, or empowers vet doctors. So eventually I transitioned to study, to continue my study in chemistry, and to graduate on time. While I was doing that, I began to pursue my purpose and began to, try to participate in business activities, business clubs, and all that on campus. And I was reading a lot of books. One of the people I listened to a lot at that time was one of the top leaders in Nigeria. So who really inspired me to, read a lot of books, and, listen to a lot of great people. But something happened. In the course of my activities, I was doing everything, but I wasn't prospering. I was doing different businesses, but, you're not having head at the point. I was just struggling. And, that was when I began to realize that it's not about having an idea, it's about being able to raise money for your idea. Many of us have visions, many of us have dreams, many of us have businesses, NGOs, or projects we want to get done. And many times you realize that you don't have the money to actually, implement what you have in your heart. And that was the difficulty I actually faced. So because I was doing a lot of entrepreneurship programs and summits and conferences at that time, I actually had connections to a number of the speakers, most of whom were very wealthy people, very, very wealthy people. That was years back. So I remember reaching out to a number of them, trying to see how I could get resources. And I soon figured out that nobody was going to help me. And I know my parents will not help me because they'll say, oh, just go to school, graduate, get a job and all that. So I was literally stuck. I had nobody to run to for money. I had nobody to reach out to for money. But I had God. I had God. And I just kept these things in my heart and in prayers and hoping that things would change one day. So the one day came after some years, like 1 or 2 years later or so, when I was going to the community market on campus. I think most universities have community market. And I was trying to go and buy food for my lunch. And so that day I branched into the cyber cafe because the cyber cafe there's a cyber cafe in the community market very close to where they sell kose and cocoa. That's like pap and akara and, fried potatoes. We take those things a lot in the north at that time when I was in the north. So instead of buying that, I branched Cyber Cafe and I was browsing. So I came across a program called Dell Social Innovation Competition, DSIC, which was being sponsored by Michael Dell and the University of Texas at Austin at that time. So I applied and put in an application for that program. I was just sitting down in that Cyber Cafe. I think I bought it on 1 hour, and then I tried to complete the application form. I think the time was not enough, but I got like 70%. So I used the balance money to buy extra time. So I completed the application and submitted. So that day I didn't take my lunch. However, about a month or so later, I got a reply from the organizers that I had made it to the top 100 in the world. When I got that email, I think that email is just like when when you have a gallon of fuel or you have a tank of fuel. Let me not use gallon because gallon is too small. You can imagine that place where they store fuel in most filling stations. It's kind of underground. You see all those big trucks, they put the fuel underground in most of the filling stations. Now imagine if you take a matches. Okay, now imagine if you take matches and you strike a match and throw it inside a fuel tank on the ground in the filling station, you know what is going to happen, right? The filling station is going to explode, right? So when I got that email, it was exactly the same thing that happened to me. Something exploded in my spirit, in my mind, you know, in my body. And for the first time in my life, I knew that this was possible. Many people may not understand, but at that time, there were like over 2,000 teams in the world. And some of the teams that applied, they're people from Stanford, Harvard, Yale, some of the best universities in America, in UK, in Japan, Asia, India, you know. So to be among the top 10, top 100 in the world meant a lot to me. And I was just, I just sat down and filled out the application in one sitting. So something just happened in my spirit. I was so excited, very excited. I was so happy. And I knew that, oh, so you have something, you're in Zaria, in a very inconspicuous community. You have something that can compete on the global stage. And, after then, I continued to participate in the program. I made it to the top 50. And then from the top 50, we had to have like the top 10 in the world. The top 10 will fly to the US. So I think between the top 50 and the top 10, at that time I was so broke that I didn't even have a laptop. And back then, laptop was a very big thing. Not like now, like it was a very big thing then. And so I borrowed a friend's laptop to do part of the DSIC assignment and submit. And I remember finishing that work around 4 a.m. in the morning. I was in the Department of Chemistry that day when I finished the work. So I was supposed to return the laptop, but it was too early to return the laptop at that time. So I had to wait for like 6 a.m. so that I can take it to the hostel. So I just like, let me put my head down so I can sleep for an hour or two. And then, return the laptop by 6 a.m. or so. And brothers and sisters, I slept there with the laptop near me. I woke up around 6 a.m. as I had planned. But behold, the laptop was gone. The only thing they left for me was the charger. So the laptop charger was what was with me. So by 6 a.m. when I was supposed to return somebody's laptop, I was going back with the only charger and, with a debt on my head to go and pay back. Unfortunately, I didn't even make it to the top 10. So it was so painful. But, and then I had to start begging the person, laptop was a big thing in Zaria then. That I don't know who stole the laptop. I reported it to university security. They did everything they could do, but they couldn't retrieve the laptop. So that was how that passed. I'm sharing this story to let you know the journey I went through, and so that you can actually trace the same path in your life and see that some of the difficulties you face or the challenges you face are normal. They are part of the process, right? They are actually part of the process. So bottom line, I didn't win that year. I could not pay for the laptop because the laptop, I didn't have the money to pay. So I had to keep begging. I'm paying, like I tried to pay in small deposits, didn't work. So I think about a year or so later, I came across the Global Social Entrepreneurship Competition Program organized by University of Washington. And I decided to put in for that program. So I took 1 year to prepare for that program. Because some of those programs, when you see the question, you don't even understand what they're talking about. So I researched on each of the questions, learned a lot about it, knew what the right answers were. I studied most of the champions in the world at that time, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, I pitched. I put in for GSEC. Same thing happened. I sat down in the morning by 10 a.m. on the deadline. By 4 p.m. in the evening, I was done with the entire application and I submitted. And, I submitted that application and I was waiting for answers. I was waiting for the result to come out. By the grace of God, the result came out exactly 2-3 months or so afterwards. I made it to the top 16 in the world, And something broke in my heart. I went to the US for the first time in my life. I saw how things are being done. And I just knew that it was something that was possible in our lives. The idea I used at that time was an idea called Blocks. It was about a project that helps. I built a technology or an algorithm that allows you to state your goals and aspirations, and the algorithm will select opportunities, scholarships, competitions, and share it with you. You know, something like that. So it's kind of like a matching algorithm. So that was what I used. I went in for that program. I did not win, but I applied again the following year. The following year, I applied again with my idea on animal feeds, and by God's grace, I won. And that was the only time a Nigerian team won in the history of the program until it ended. That was the only time an all-African team came first position in the world. And you know, I returned back to Nigeria. I had prize money. The prize money I got was what I used to start my first real life business. And I would say that winning that competition taught me something, that it is possible for you to have ideas, dreams, and visions, and you know, and those dreams and visions will come to pass. They are legitimate, number one. Number two, even if you do not have connection to a millionaire, or you do not have a connection to a rich family member, it is possible for you to break out in life. You know, it is possible for you to break out in life from where you are right now, right? So I just want to, I share that story to really encourage you. After then, I began to win a number of international programs. I got financing. As I won them, I got financing. One of the recent ones was about a year or so ago. My company got $250,000. That's $250,000 from Google, which we currently use to build a software for the veterinarians in Nigeria, and we're also launching a telemedicine platform for vet doctors in Nigeria. And so for me, not only have we received the kind of financing we need to accomplish our dreams, my dreams and vision, but I've also gotten the kind of partnerships I look forward to. I've also been able to attract the kind of networks that could really help me to make these things possible, to make these things impact the lives of people. And I would say to each and every one of you here that irrespective of the dreams you have, there is actually no limitation. There is no limitation on your dreams, and anything is possible. Anything is possible. Let's take, for example, let's say you have a dream to set up a company that repairs generator, right? And this company that repairs generator, probably you need 2 million naira, or let's even say 50 million naira to start it up, right? I want you to know that it is actually possible. It is actually possible. So I'm going to leave a number of my time to answer questions from you guys. But I felt that I should share with you my story. And from my story, there are some key principles you can pick from my story. The number one lesson you can pick from my story is that you should not be limited by your educational background, right? You should not be limited by your educational background. Do not allow your educational background, your educational qualification, whether you have a first class, second class, 2-1, 2-2, or polytechnic certificates or WAEC certificate, do not allow it place a lead or a limit on your life. Do not allow it at all. Do not allow it at all. Another thing you can pick from my life, another lesson you can learn from my life is what I would call growth and fixed mindset. Some people, when they face challenges, they give up. Some people, when they go through trials, they give up. Some other people, when they face challenges or when they face trials, they learn the lessons, and then they use the lessons to move further. One of the stories that I love so much is the story of Abraham Lincoln. You know, in the Nigerian context, you will say Abraham Lincoln ran for local government chairman, failed. Then he ran for House of Assembly, failed. Then he ran for governor, he failed. He used the lesson for his governorship race, ran for senatorial, failed. Used it to run for vice president of America, he failed. Then he now ran for presidency. It was when he ran for presidency he won. So we need that kind of spirit that allows us to, you know, learn from our mistakes, our failures, and take it and attempt something bigger. You know, and that's the second lesson you can pick. Number three is that um, is that um, God is the sustainer of our destinies. You know, God is the sustainer of our destinies, not man, not man. If you hope on man or you rely in man, things will not work out the way you plan, because man always fails and man is limited. But if you rely on God, God will use men to help you. Do you understand? So make your plans based on your trust in God, based on your trust in God, based on your faith in God, you know, knowing that it is God that uses men as channels to reach out. Do you understand? So you pray to God and God will use a man to help you. Do you understand? But don't hope directly in the man. You know, let it be God moving the hearts of people in line to favor you. Do you understand? So that's something else. Number four thing you can learn from my life is that you should attempt international things. The reason why many of us are struggling or continue to struggle is that we're trying to be local champions. So I always tell people, like, so if you look at someone like Joseph in the Bible, I know there are people from other religions here too. There are people, when you read about Joseph, Joseph was, I think, from Israel, and but his destiny was in Egypt, right? You look at Abraham, was born in Hor, but his destiny was not in Ur, you know, of the Chaldeans. If you look at Daniel, Daniel was born in Israel, but his destiny was not in Israel, it was somewhere else. Many times we try to be the local champions. We want to win in our village. We want to be the chairman of our local government. We want to just stay in our family. We want to stay in our comfort zone. Whereas if you could only attempt something international, if you could only attempt something national, your destiny would explode positively. You know, so one of the issues many of us might be facing would be we're still limiting ourselves. We're like those fish in aquarium, you know, we just want to stay in a small place, you know, and then in a small place, there's so much competition. So you need to attempt doing big things, you know. So that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing, again, is like you need to do big things. You need to attempt big things. How does someone who is going to buy cocoa and kose decide to decide to apply for an international program? You know, it's not normal, right? So the same thing happens. I can see Stephen is on his bed, and you know, I see different people on the Zoom call and all that. And what I can say to you is, like, wherever you are in any part of the country, make sure you attempt something international. Even if you fail or succeed, it doesn't matter, but just attempt. Participate in projects where you have people from different countries. Do you understand? Don't just stay in your local, in your local base in Ibadan or in Kaduna or wherever you are listening to this call in Enugu. Don't stay there. Try to attempt something international. If you're a mechanic and you're on this call, try to look for opportunities for that mechanics have internationally. You know, try to do something international. Something else you can learn from my story, right? Is that, you know, when I taught you about how I, you know, did not get it the first time, did not get it the second time, but the third time, I won the international prize for the Global Social Entrepreneurship Competition. So sometimes you might not get there in 1 year or in 2 years. I know everybody wants to be a millionaire. Everybody wants to be a billionaire fast. But everybody's destiny is different. Let me just put it that way. Today now, I heard that the former CEO of Zappos died from a fire incident. You guys don't know that guy's story. That guy built a company from almost nothing to become. They sold that company for $1 billion to Amazon. When I heard it, I was not happy at all. But he died at I think it wasn't up to 50. You know, and you know, as I was thinking, I was like, this life, you know, only God knows the future of everybody, right? So some people are hurrying to be rich, they want to be billionaires, whatever, at the youngest possible age, you know, and all those things, without taking into cognizance that there is a process. You know, there's a process to these things. you know. So I would just say, as much as possible, be patient. Do not weary yourself trying to get rich. Just take things easy, you know. Just be content with what you have, and just strive for significance as much as you can. Yeah. So I think I would like to pause here so that I can take questions from you guys.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you for those insights. Thank you for those concepts. Thank you for those ideas that you are sharing with us. So this is the meat of this section where you are going to be asking your questions. So if you want to ask question, please raise up your hand. If you want to type your question, please do right now. Ogale say, whoa, thank you, sir. So if you have questions, please quickly drop your questions. Drop your questions. If you want to talk, raise up your hand. Okay, we have Emmanuel. So Emmanuel, you are live. You can ask your question. Please unmute yourself. Emmanuel, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, while you do that, let's have Victory. Okay, Emmanuel is live now. Okay.
Program was going well. I just came in now, and I know I heard some of the I was thinking about is there no strategical means of getting a loan without all these steps? Because all these steps, they're not assured, they're not 100% sure. So I think, I mean, I was kind of asking myself, is there no 100% sure way of getting a grant? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, your question is how to get a loan, right?
Yes, I mean a 100% sure way, because the second one, trust in God, like it's not a sure way of it, but yeah, it's sure somehow, but it's not the right way, because God might entrust somebody your blessings and the person might deny it. You understand?
Okay. So what you are saying is 100% sure way of getting a loan or 100% sure way of raising finances.
Yes, a grant.
Funding. Okay, okay. So you can answer that, sir. 100% sure way of raising funds.
Okay,
Like
thank
loan.
you. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for that question. So if you're going to raise a loan, yeah, there are different conditions attached. And number one, a loan comes with interest. And different banks or financiers would offer you different interest rates from 1 digit, which is anything from 0.001 to anything 9% or 9 point something percent. Then some offer 2 digits, like most of the banks, which might be up around 20 something to 30%. Most of the deposit money banks. All right. Now, number one, you need to be very sure the type of business you want to run is the loan is the best form of that we call it debt. Debt is the best form of financing for that project. Now, once you're sure, you also have to be sure about the mathematics. So I usually ask people to tell, oh, what type of business do you want to run that you need loan for? So for some people, they are trying to look for money to finance contracts. Now, if you are trying to, let's say you're into corn farming and you're trying to supply your corn to Nestle to buy, so all you need to do is to get an LPO from your purchaser, and then you tender the LPO to your bank to give you a guarantee. So that guarantee given by your bank can be used to finance the LPO. So when the bank is paying, when the company is paying you, they will pay to the bank's account, like your account with that particular bank that borrowed you the money. Do you understand? So that way you don't need to bring money from your own pockets to finance the loan. And you don't really need collateral because the LPO gotten from the company who is your purchaser helps to is a credit worthy document that you can use to finance your purchase. So that is a 100% sure way of getting a loan. In fact, a lot of very successful businesses use that a lot to finance their businesses, from farms to oil contracts to grain supply. Those are like the opportunities are limitless. When it comes to loans, and I hope that answers your question.
Okay, what about for people that are just starting? What will be your advice to them? They want to raise funds, but they don't know how to go about it, and they are looking for 100% sure way of funding their
Yeah,
business.
again, yeah. So it's the same thing I just said. If you're looking for 100% sure way, to get a loan, that's how to go about it. You need to be trying to supply a good to someone, or and the person who you're supplying has to give you an LPO. So how it works, let me explain how it works. So let's say Nestle or Unilever needs let's say 1,000 tons of corn from you. That would be like about 35 trucks or so of corn from you. All right. You're going to go to Nestle and say, hey, I can supply you 35 trucks. All right. Nestle is going to give you a document called an LPO. That LPO guarantees that Nestle would pay you X amount of money for 35 trucks of corn. All right. Sorry, I might soon leave you guys now. But let me try to see in case I go off. So Nestle will give you that LPO. There's a document called an LPO. They will give it's a local purchasing order. You take that LPO to your bank. Your bank is going to verify that document with Nestle. All right, and your bank would also provide like a bank guarantee. All right. So that bank guarantee is what is used to pay the people who will supply you the corn that you are using to supply to Nestle. All right. So the bank finances that transaction with a loan. So that is 100% sure way of getting a loan. And there's no excuse to say, oh, I'm starting small. Give me an idea. Most of us, our idea of starting small is to have a shop or something small. You can start small with 100 trucks. You can start small with 30 trucks. You can start small with 1,000 trucks. It's just the level of your thinking that matters. So some people start small, it's just 100,000, 1 million, 2 million only. But do you know that you can actually have a big idea for like, okay, I want to do 20 million or 50 million worth of business. And that is also starting small. So your destination is what matters. Do you understand? So it's just really about the quality of your thinking. Now, if it has to do with grants, I have gone through my book. I have a book called The Winning Streak, where I explain how to raise money for your company. And I've gone a lot in detail in that book. So that book would guide you step by step on how to raise money. Grants is the one you don't pay back, on how to raise a grant for your company. So I would suggest you get that book. But once it has to do with loan and you want a 100% guarantee for a loan, then you need to have an LPO and a bank guarantee. So that is what would finance it. In fact, most of these oil companies you hear about, that's what they do. That's what they do. They do LPOs, they get bank guarantees to finance their transactions. And you can actually attempt exactly the same thing, but you need a purchaser. As the person you are supplying that good to must give you an LPO, which means you have a contract with that company to supply X amount of thing. They would specify the criteria and everything. All right. So let me see if I can take one more question.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah, this person says, my challenge with all these international things is age barriers, because most of the training for youth is for age below 35. How can one beat some of those barriers?
Yeah, for some of them, you literally can't do anything about it. It's the fun that there's a reason they want people of a particular age. something you can do would be maybe if you have a kid or a younger brother, to work with them and apply through them. That's something you probably can also do. If there's a will, there will be a way. So you don't need to lie. You can just, if you have your brother who will join you in that business as a partner or as a staff, you can apply through them. Let's
Okay,
have one.
great. Let's have a female to talk. Elizabeth, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Elizabeth.
Okay. Good evening.
Yeah, you lose me, know that I'm gone. So I'm actually, you lose me, know that I'm gone. Okay.
Okay. You mentioned something about how you partnered with someone that that has been your plan or your dream. You got a partnership. Can you please throw light on that for me?
Which partnership are you talking about?
Okay, as we are discussing, you say you really wanted to win something and you were able to kind of had to partnership with I don't know who you did.
No,
You
no,
did
I
not
didn't
really go
partner
into
with anyone.
details.
What I actually did when I wanted to win was to study other winners. Like, what are other winners doing? So it's a little bit similar to the question someone asked about how to raise 100% money. What you do is that you study other people who have raised 100% loan, guaranteed, and that's what they do. They get LPOs, they get bank guarantees. So probably some of you don't know about it, but those are two wonderful instruments you can use to finance absolutely anything. You know, anything, like from next week, say you can even get a loan if you have those documents. You know, so the same thing applies. If you want to do, when I wanted to win, I studied other people who have won those things, see how they communicate, see how they implement their projects, see how they report. You know, just did a lot of study on them, and I was able to replicate the same process. I call it the spirit of championship.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Somebody has a question here that he has been trying to help people because he has a lot of people, poor people around that he has been helping, but he discovered that he needs more funds to achieve this. I say, how do I go about it?
Yeah, so probably you want to do a grant. I have a protege in Ibadan called Adereni. Adereni runs a company called Help Mom. He's doing a great work. He's helping a lot of women in Oyo State who are going through health crisis. I think they just built a health cafe also somewhere in Oyo State. So you have to package yourself, package your vision. You have to consult your business hub. We have the right business plans and grant proposals. And you have to package yourself very well and, you know, put in an application. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, this year, a lot of things, people did not fund projects. But I believe that from next year, they will start funding. And if you read my book, you will see that there is a way to prepare ahead of time for next year so that you can package what you have already done before. Maybe you have helped 10 people, you package it now. That this is what you have done so far, because people want to hear what you have done already. And then you now say, okay, I need $100,000 or $50,000 or I need XYZ. And then they will now support you. Do you understand? So you have to package yourself and if you can't do it yourself, you get an expert like Dio to help you out. So that's how it works. And you pay for the service. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if you still have more time. You can take one or two more.
Yeah, if I go off, I'm off. It's just probably my phone just.
Okay, let's have Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. I think Emmanuel has asked his own question.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity for this seminar again. I so much I'm in love with it. There is one thing he said. He talked about the LPO. Nowadays, let's come to reality now. In this Nigeria now, okay, especially here in Abia State, because I'm calling from Abia State, I have this idea of branding some of the local drinks. I said it here one day. Local drinks like Zobo, Kunu. I don't normally give these ideas out because it's been in my mind since April.
Yeah, the question. What's the question?
So the thing is that when I go to bank now and ask for the LP, you know, banks don't nowadays they don't help startups. They don't give startups. You must
Yeah.
have some kind of qualifications before you can get a grant or an LPO you've talked about. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm saying my question is why if that is the situation, how do we get a grant or a loan or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like I said, every fund that has their priority area. Bank of Agriculture funds agricultural ideas. Bank of Industry funds industrial ideas and all those things, right? So you need to find the type of funder that can fund you. Unfortunately, most people will not fund packaging of stuff. I have a friend who does something similar. You know all these MTN SIM and Glow SIM? They are the ones who create, I think, packages for all those things, all those SIM cards, you know. If you see all these medic drugs in pharmaceutical stores, they create the packages, you know. So companies are doing that already. You need to learn from those guys. They already have a way. In fact, you don't need the machines. I learned that some of the big companies who do that, some of them are in Lagos, and they usually have extra space because they are not using the machines 24/7. So most of your work actually has to do with getting contracts from the companies. It's not about you need money for something. It's about who is going to buy your product. Who are you solving a problem for? That's what I talked about in the Winning Streak, my book. The problem. You need to focus on the problem. Okay, you want to do branding for someone who's selling Zobo or Kunu. They cannot pay you. They cannot pay you. But if you tell me that you want to do branding for MTN, I am interested in your idea because your client is a rich person. Most times we are all trying to help poor people. You're trying to help poor people. If you keep doing it, how do I put it so that it's not offensive? If you're trying to build a business for people that have money. So that when you have money, you make ₦1 million, 10 million naira, or $10 million, you can dash as much as you want to the poor. So if you want to do branding, look for companies in Abia, Hero. I think there's a beer called Hero beer or something. Look for the manufacturing companies in that area or big companies and get them as your client. Don't be talking about Kunu or Zobo. Because if you go to the bank, they will just pursue you, right? But if you come in and say, "Oh, I've discussed with the CEO of Guinness also, or Guinness in the East, and I want to create the label for their stuff. I need financing." You are saying something, right? And the company that you got the contract with can give you an LPO to say, okay, supply us 1,000 cartons of labels. Each carton should have 5,000 labels that we can gum on our Guinness bottles. You know, so that is the kind of thing your bank manager wants to hear. If you're talking about Zobo, Kunu, all these things that the people will not give you money. I'm just telling you the truth. Even the bottle that they are using to package us, they don't even pay. They collect free ones, price the thing down. So you need to focus on rich clients, people with money, because no matter what you do for the poor, they will not be able to pay you. You have to dash them the labels or the packaging at the end of the day. So I'm challenging everybody on this call. If you are thinking of loan, thinking of business, don't be thinking of poor people as your customer. You might be from a poor background, but once you want to do business, think about the people in this community that have money. What can I do to serve them, right? And then go and talk to them and say, I want to create packaging. So your work is to get contracts, not to get a loan. When you get the contracts, somebody say, okay, I'm giving you a contract of 10 million. Can you do it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. You don't have the money. You collect the LPO or the contract document. You take it to your bank. That is what the bank wants to see. The bank will call the company. Did you give this guy contract, this company contract to supply you 10 million naira worth of this? Yes. The bank will give the person who you're going to pay that money. Maybe you're spending 8 million on that contract. The bank will now raise the guarantee and pay them. They will produce the thing. You supply your people. When your 10 million naira is paid, they'll pay it into that account. The bank will collect their 8 million or 8.5 million, including interest. You take your 1.5 or 2 million out. So the thing is that we need to think like rich people. Let me put it that way, right? Don't always, once it comes to business, don't always think of the poor. It's when you want to dash money, you want to do non-profit, that you think of the less privileged. Once you want to do business, you don't think of the less privileged. Think about people that have money. Do you understand? Think about people that have money. When you go to markets, you see the way all those market women or guys, they'll be dragging you because you have money. If you don't have money, they won't even look at you. So once you're thinking about loan or so, the people you are talking to are looking, their job is to get the money back from you. It's not to dash you. So when you are going there, you better go there with something solid. Don't go there, I have an idea to do so thing. They will not listen to you. What they want to hear is that I have a contract to supply XYZ, my product to so company. This is the document. They can confirm independently. You need them to finance that deal. Do you understand? So that's why I talked about LPOs, bank guarantees, you know, and deal with rich people, guys. Deal with rich people. Poor people will not give you money, eh? Let's take one more.
Awesome. Okay, somebody say, what if one has an idea to build a device which will impact everyone, but it cannot be built in Nigeria? What should such a person do?
Yeah, you build a prototype. So you, I had somebody like that who wanted to build like a hair weaving device for women and all that. And what I said is like those are like the simplest things to do. What you do is that you go to your who are you building this device for? Who is your customer? What problem? We go and prototype it. You prototype it, use crude method. Even if the device is going to be as big as a car, right? When it's supposed to be as small as a phone, just prototype it and demonstrate it that it works. Also, then that is what people will finance. Do you understand? The issue is if it's a drawing on your book or somewhere, nobody will finance that thing. But you must run a test. You must get actual customers, actual users, so that you can even modify all the mistakes you make it on that prototype. So go and look for, go online. Dio, there's a book I shared one time on IDEO, prototyping guide. You remember? Please share it with this person.
Okay.
Yeah, Dio, please share it with him so that he can use that as a guide to guide him on how to produce that thing locally. You must prototype. You must understand your customers. It's not about your product or loan or all those things. It's about your customers. What problem are you solving for? What problem do they have that you are trying to solve? And you must be very clear about who your customer is and what problem you are solving for. Because once you do that right, every other thing will follow. Do you understand? Okay. Yes. Let's take one more.
Okay, let's have Victory. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but your background is noisy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, great. Welcome.
Yeah, my question is that someone that has a business idea.
Can you lower your TV set? Can you lower your TV set or the background noise? Maybe you move away from. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, ask your question.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I have business idea. I'm a producer. I do liquid soap, organic soap, and organic cream. And from the environment where I am, the community, they like my products gradually as I improve daily. But my challenge is that one, I don't have labor, no money to produce labor, and no money to buy in large. So when I buy a small quantity, I'm eating out of it. Just like walking from hand to hand. And no CAC registration. Now, without CAC registration, can someone produce label? Can I put label on my products and go and sell?
Okay. If I get your question clearly, you are saying that you have a business,
yes,
and you You are already selling, right?
Yes.
So what do you sell?
Liquid soap.
Liquid soap. Okay, very good. So you now want to put label and start selling, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Even organic soap. This Ghana black soap mix it. Put carrot powder, turmeric powder, and organic things that make it look fresh on the skin.
Okay, very good. I will answer your question in the next section by 6:30. Our mentor is off now. The section is off, so and his phone is off, so it's all these are called now. So in the next section, that is my section. Uh, in the next section is where we will learn how to access grants, loans, business opportunity, all the loans that are in Nigeria right now that you can apply for. I will take that through in my next session. I will show you practical websites to go. Some people are asking for websites where you can get grants opportunity, loans opportunity. Some of you says you don't have where to how to buy Many Blessings book. I will share with us in the next section. If you want to buy Many Blessings book, you can private chat me. I will drop my phone number now. Just chat me up on WhatsApp. 08060779290. Anywhere you are in Nigeria, chat me up. Just say I want to uh, buy Many Blessings book on how to access grants, loans, any funding. I believe we all can see my number now. 080. Let me project it for you. Just chat me on WhatsApp, and I will be able to do that for you. Let me use this on current slide. Okay, I believe you can all see my slide. I'm not sure you people can see my slide. Let me share the screen for you. Just give me a second. Okay. So chat me up on 08060779290 if you want to access Many Blessings book. My next section is 6:30, and I'm going to take that section. If you have been looking for ways to finance your business all these years you have not seen, by next section your problem will be solved finally, because that is the core of what I'm going to take us through in this section. Before we close this section, we want to take a group picture. So open your video. We want to take a group picture now. Open your video, everybody, before we end this section. By next section, free CAC registration in Nigeria, I will open it up for you. How to get grants, loan, how to get different supports, I will open them up for you. So we want to take a group picture now, and we are good to go. Some people have not opened their video. Want to take a good picture so that it's a memory that we treasure and appreciate that you are part of this summit. By 6:30 is the final section. 6:30 to 9:30 is the final section for this summit, and it's going to be powerful. If you know people that have not joined all this while, tell them not to miss the evening section. So our people are already taking the screenshot of this section. So just give us like 2-3 minutes. So 6:30 West African time. So you can convert that to your time and know when to join us. So hold on, we are taking the screen. Okay, great, very good. Just hold on. by evening, by next section, we'll be introducing our volunteers that have been working all this while for this summit. We'll also show pictures from our viewing center in different parts of Nigeria. We'll show pictures from them. And by next section, it is going to be a lot of sharing with us different opportunities that young people can benefit from all over the world, not just from Nigeria alone, and all that. So want to appreciate you State in Nigeria. We want to say thank you very much for joining for this section. We would have been loved to be with you live, but you are also watching us live right now. So we want to appreciate all of you for this opportunity to impart you through this summit. This is the 9th edition. Because of the coronavirus, we have decided to make it a virtual edition. In subsequent edition, it has been a physical event. So we want to appreciate you all. So any question that is not answered now, by 6:30, I'm going to answer all your questions. And I'm also going to share some insight from Many Blessings book. Our mentor that just left now, he is our fundraising mentor. He has raised funds in millions of dollars. So by next section, I'll be sharing from his book how he has done it, some strategy he has used over time, and all that. So thank you very much as we end the first section today. So Basi, so for Many Blessings section, how was it? In one comment, let's just drop it. How was the section? In one comment, how was the section? How was the section? Fantastic. Austin says fantastic. Joan said all sessions were amazingly good. Joan, we appreciate you from where you are coming from. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. We are glad that you are here with us. Thank you. It was inspiring, SSL, inspirational, eye-opening, and all that. So thank you very much. As the final section by 6:30 West African time, we join again, and let's invite more people in this final section. Jibril said, great, it was powerful and impactful. We are glad that you are impacted by these sections. Thank you very much as we end the first section. Thank you.